Hey friends, Ernie here from the Trader of Futures. And today I'm going to talk about distributed applications, or DAPPs. Now, this is really what blockchain and distributed ledger technology is all about. It all resolves down to applications that will run on the blockchain or whatever that network happens to be, whatever its protocol is. And that's been largely my criticism of this industry so far, is that we've done all this development, we've done all these coins and everything else, and there haven't been any DApps that have risen to any kind of prominence or any kind of usefulness. Now, I liken this back to the early days of the internet, when all we had was IRC and Telnet and certain very cryptic tools that were really only available to techies. And then finally, websites started to emerge and people started getting into it, and everything just blossomed from there. So we're kind of like in that situation with blockchain and distributed ledger technologies. However, there are some services, and I'm going to point them out to you right here, that are doing a pretty good job of keeping track of the applications that do exist to date. And I'm following them very closely. Most of them are fairly useless. There are some that do have some following, if you can say that. But most of them, the ones that are more popular, are really built around investing, portfolio management, exchanges, that sort of thing. There really aren't any general purpose or even specific applications that a wider audience might be interested in. Don't get me wrong, there's a wide range of applications. It's just that nobody's using them. All right, so let's first take a look at DApp Radar. And this is a pretty good site for listing. Now, most of these are Ethereum-based. I mean, things that really isn't anything running on EOS or Cardano or any of the other networks. It's simply not there, and I don't know if they'll ever be there. We'll see. And, of course, we have things that are emerging that have promised to come online that are more steeped in enterprise solutions, and so that's a little bit more difficult to get a handle of. And I'm speaking of things like Hashgraph, or Stellar Lumens or other similar things. So let's take a look at this DApp Radar, and you can see they've ranked it. Now, the most important ranking in my point of view is the number of users over the past 24 hours. And IDEX, which is an exchange, has had 4,400. It is by far the most used. So we have a decentralized exchange. So that's cool. Fork Delta is kind of a browser into exchanges as well as local Ethereum. CryptoKitties is a game, and you've probably read about it. You can create your own cute little kitty, and it's unique, and it never dies, and no one else can copy it, and it's all yours. And it's
oh, my pretty little pet. I love you. So I stroke it, and I pet it, and I massage it. Yeah, I love it. I love my little naughty pet. You're naughty.
You can cuddle it, and you can stroke your kitty. Anyways, there's only been 371 users over the past 24 hours, so as much fanfare as CryptoKitties has gotten, it really hasn't reached too many people. So we can see, you go down here, and then it quickly just fades off, and there's a number of them that have about 100 users over the past 24 hours, and it's possible that some of these may emerge, and just blossom and become the next killer app. I just don't see it yet, but it's worth keeping track of this. Now, there are other services out there, like DApp Rankings, which has basically a lot of the same applications, just maybe a different way of viewing them, and that's interesting. We have this other guy over here called Blockstack, and I'll put all these links down below so you can get at them. And it's probably worth your time to subscribe to them, get on the list, get a login, and start exploring these. We have a bunch of categories of things that you can look at: apps, core, browser, identity. So you can see that there may be some useful applications here, but the real thing here is that there's not a whole lot of people actually using these things. Going back to these DApp rankings, Okay, well, let's see. What do we have for energy? Energy! Come on. All right, so the top energy one is ranked 547th. And if you just go down about 30 or 40, you can see there's less than 100 users there. So you can imagine here, well, you can just look, the users over a 30-day period basically is not even registering. So that's there's not a whole lot going on there. And, you know, we can look at the categories here, see games, other. All these others are usually just exchanges. Yeah, they're either games or other. Some of these are promoted. Some of them are new. Well, anyways, there you go. If you're interested in what DAPPs are out there and you want to start exploring these, go to DAPP Radar and click on some of these. It'll bring you to the website that's associated with that particular DAPP. You'll learn more about it, and then see where this industry may or may not be going. Now, of course, I think there are going to be public DAPPs. There are some applications that simply don't belong or have no real value or don't derive any additional value by being decentralized, and there are some that do. And that's something that we have to learn about, and it's going to take some time. My estimation is that we're still 3 to 5 years out before we start seeing anything of substance. But it is definitely worth your time to stay educated and understand. I know that I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to keep a close tab on these. You know, I know I've been bearish on the Bitcoin market, and all of you know that I've been bearish, but that's because the market deserves to be bearish. At some point, something's going to break. Either we're going to get a network, we're going to get larger user adoption, there's going to be some kind of killer app that everybody just has to have. And then I think we're going to see some real movement, not only in the DAPPs and usability, usefulness, but also from an investor's point of view. And I'm going to be all over that, baby. All right, man and women. We'll see you next video.